Hey, what's up, guys? Trinidad Prime Minister warns country is in, quote, critical crisis. Mhm. This is news coming out of Port of Spain, Trinidad. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has urged Trinidad and Tobago citizens to, quote, avoid a funeral for Christmas, end quote, as the country recorded increased cases of coronavirus, including a recorded 31 deaths in one day. The latest figures released by the Ministry of Health showed that 2,040 people have died and 68,288 others have been infected with the virus since March last year. Prime Minister Keith Rowley said, quote, now is not the time to concede defeat. I am appealing to people to get vaccinated against the virus, particularly since it has now emerged of a new variant of the pandemic that experts described as, quote, the worst one we have seen so far, end quote, and amid concerns that it has the potential to evade immunity. He continued, we must not lower our guard, but instead commit to fight the surge with everything at our disposal, not the least of which are the vaccines we have and the personal responsibility we must adopt. The virus has pushed back, and today we must stand and hold the line. Our frontline soldiers battled under the strain of 19 months of constant battle. Our resources are being steadily depleted as people continue to fall ill, require increased hospitalization and loss of their life to the relentless onslaught of the virus. I want to re-emphasize that we intend to continue to fight this virus while fighting to preserve the key economic activities which we need to maintain livelihoods. We will try to prevent devastating restrictions and will resort to such measures only as the last resort when all else becomes impotent. Diligent and preempt steps have been taken to ensure that the vaccines are available to the population. End quote. Dr. Keith Rowley also noted that Trinidad and Tobago has received in excess of 1.9 million vaccine, of which 1.28 million have been administered. But he said the figures were still low, and according to the ministry, 639,486 people have been fully vaccinated to date, and 16,684 have received an additional third boost. Rowley, who chronicled the efforts by his administration since the WHO had first announced the discovery of the virus and later declaring it a pandemic more than a year ago, said that evidence has shown the vaccines continue to reduce a person's risk of infection, hospitalization, and even death. He said again, quote, the government of Trinidad and Tobago has taken every available measure to ensure that we safeguard our population from the virus, adding that disappointingly the pandemic continues to present serious challenges that most countries all over the world are struggling with the assistance of widespread vaccination. Trinidad and Tobago is facing a critical crisis regarding the pandemic, and with no decrease in sight, the number of deaths continued to increase with dozens of persons losing their lives on a daily basis. Unfortunately, it seems we have become desensitized and the population is no longer stirred to wise action by the alarming trend. There is little change in public behavior and attitude, as well as a drastic reduction in the rate of vaccination even in the face of increasing COVID deaths. There is also a lot of information that many persons hid their conditions, refuse to be tested or isolated when they know they are sick. This is exactly the environment in which the virus will strive and show up in our intractable daily numbers and our overflowing hospital wards. Dr. Keith Rowley continued with an appeal to families to support one another and to help out so that the infected members can isolate and reduce the chances of the virus spreading amongst family members and the general public. Quarantine works. Vaccines work. Mask wearing and sanitizing work. Adapt them to save a life. End quote. Dr. Keith Rowley said that as the country enters the Christmas season, he was appealing for people to adapt the health regulations, and while the government would have reopened the beaches as soon as possible, it would continue to monitor the situation. He said again, quote, "Very soon the Christmas season and its festivities will be upon us. We will want to have a good Christmas, but we must be particularly careful to not let the Christmas be an event that pushes us over the edge." End quote. Dr. Keith Rowley also announced that while the annual carnival celebration will not be as it has been in the past, including the street parades, some elements of the festival will be on show in 2022.